On the left, we have Carl Wolfson from 620 KPOJ. On the right, as usual, Michael Berry, heard here on KEX. And you all know the rules. Go too long, you'll hear the bell, meaning it's time to move on.
Scott, that's a complete sentence in Texas, by the way.
All right, first question. Here we go again with the debt limit debate. Will it play out any better this time around? Michael, you first.
I fear not. I'm afraid John Boehner will start crying when Barack Obama twists his arm. I mean, unfortunately, the Republicans are not doing much better in representing us than the Democrats. And John Boehner's opening salvo was to say, I'm going to vote for the debt limit. I'm going to give Barack Obama more money to waste, but this time I'm going to make him offer up some conditions. No, I don't think it's going to go well. And this is a classic case. This isn't a Republican-Democrat problem. This is an insiders in Washington, D.C. versus the rest of us taxpayers. And I think what you're seeing is even the Democrat taxpayers have had it with this administration. Look at what's happened in Arkansas, Kentucky, and West Virginia. So I don't think it'll go any better, and I think the entrenched incumbent politicians are going to be hurt by this, including Obama in November.
Well, it will go badly politically for the Republicans if they try to leverage this as politically. You saw what it did to our S&P rating the last time they tried it. But what we're talking about is debt that's already been incurred, largely Republican debt. I mean, if you looked at the editor of Market Watch this week, which was pretty damning to Republicans, President Obama has presided over the slowest rate of federal spending since Eisenhower. It was the Republicans, especially George W. Bush, that ran up this debt. Reagan's a close second as far as profligate spending. But it's Republican debt we're talking about here. Let's make it clear.
Next topic.
Scott, let him do a do-over. That was so damn boring. I felt that was like Joe Biden. Do that again, Carl. That was dreadful.
You know, you use the same narcolepsy excuse every week.
I know,
be more creative, man.
You put me to sleep. That was horrible.
You know, I would have thought a conservative would read Market Watch.
Scott, I'm sorry he used profligate on your show. This is a family show.
Next topic. This president has made it clear he will make Mitt Romney's time at Bain Capital an issue of his campaign, something Gingrich and Teddy Kennedy have done before. Is that a good strategy? Carl, you first.
Yeah, it is a good strategy. And look, I love the fact that Rick Perry, Newt Gingrich, Rick Santorum, even Sarah Palin hammered Mitt Romney over this during the primary. And suddenly, now that Obama's doing it, it's an attack on capitalism or it's character assassination. No, there's a difference between capitalism and runaway capitalism. There's a difference between venture capital and vulture capital. You know, Staples, that was a growing concern. Romney came in. They did pretty well with it. But more often than not, it was like American pad and paper. They came in with the intent to destroy that company, destroy jobs. Bain always wins. They got a 2,000% return on their investment with AmPad. What did creditors get? 0.2 of a cent on the dollar. He destroyed that company. It's an issue.
Michael.
Well, I think Rush Limbaugh said it best this week. Barack Obama is the first guy to run for president against capitalism. If we're going to use primary arguments, same party, primary arguments against a candidate, then we can go back to the fact that Hillary Clinton said that Barack Obama wasn't born in this country and that at 3 a.m. he isn't the guy to answer the call. And, by the way, as Geraldine Ferraro also said in 2008, this guy, if he weren't a black person, would not have been the nominee. That's what the Democrats said about him. I don't think we want to dredge those things up. Look, Mitt Romney has the most impressive resume. I don't like the guy. I don't like his politics. He has the most impressive resume of anyone inside and outside government, both of them together, that has won a major party nomination in the last 100 years. His resume is no question.
His resume of sending jobs overseas pretty darn good.
Next question.
Carl, the bell is already rung.
Mm-hmm. Finally, 2 female soldiers filed lawsuits to have the ban on women in combat lifted, claiming that being barred from combat based solely on the basis of sex is unconstitutional. Should women be allowed on the front lines? Carl.
Well, I don't see why not. And, I know Michael Berry in the past, or Dr. Berry as I call him, has professed great respect for Israel and the Israeli Defense Forces. Women serve in combat roles, and I think they have to serve 2 years before they're 18 in Israel. Other countries with lifting, don't ask, don't tell, allowing gays to serve openly were a model for us. We were behind the curve on it. I say let the lawsuit proceed. I think if women want to serve, including in combat, that should be their right.
Michael.
More ridiculousness. I mean, this whole idea is ridiculous. You do not have a constitutional right to get to go into war. You do not have a constitutional right to be in our military. It's not powder puff football. Look, you're putting men's lives on the line, and let's recognize there are differences between the sexes. If these women want to be involved in the military, that's fine. They can have desk jobs. There are reasons we don't let them serve, and the reason Israel has to use women is it's a smaller country surrounded by a bunch of Muslim countries that want to wipe them off the face of the earth. They are forced to put women into battle. We are not. We have plenty of men willing to serve. This is a ridiculous idea, and this goes back to the basic notion that Democrats don't understand that there are fundamental differences between men and women. And serving in battle is not something women need to be doing, as determined by the military, who I'll trust on this.
Guys, we're going to leave it there. Michael Berry, KEX, Carl Wolfson.
Complete sentence, 2 complete sentences out of Texas.
Thank you, guys.